Okay, it's been a while since I've done this, so I'll do it again. Although there are similar videos of me just driving in the night, and in fact there's probably too many of them on my channel, but they're there for a reason, and the reason is usually that I have something to say. I just feel like talking, which isn't necessarily the same thing as having something to say. This time I just wanted to actually just, it's what is it today, the 30th, not the 30th, it's Good Friday, the 29th of March. Well, that's an early Good Friday. Often, you know, most of the time they'd be in April rather than March, but they have been known to be even earlier than the 29th of March. And it's just after 7 o'clock. I actually have that on the wrong time. I have it on summertime, but from my watch you might be able to see that it's 7:10 in the evening. Watch what I'm doing because it's all changed here. Bus lane that I shouldn't be in, and as you can see, it's all snowing. It's all snowing, which is not good. It's a white Easter. This is Good Friday, and so, you know, you don't expect snow like this at Easter. It's not the right ambience. Easter's supposed to be spring. And this is not spring. And now I hear that there's going to be another 10 weeks. But I actually said, I don't know if this has gone up recently on the channel or a while back, because I can't remember, but I actually did say that it was going to be a long and cold and arduous winter, and this is exactly what has happened. As you can see, it's right through to the end of March. Snow didn't melt that was falling in February. After quite a warm January, I started to wonder, well, was I actually right or not? In January it's quite a warm January. I thought, well, maybe I made a fool of myself saying that it's going to be a cold winter. And then of course it came in February, really quite cold snap. So not just Poland, but the whole of Europe also warned that it might be the same in the UK, and it certainly has been unusually cold. So now you might ask yourself, what do I think will happen in the summer? But I think it's going to be ridiculously hot, and that there's going to be more of those not hurricanes, but what do you call them, tornadoes that we had in Poland last year. I think they're probably going to happen again this year, because whenever it gets cold, nature balances itself by having the rest of the time hot. So you could say, well, it was a very hot summer last year, this is a reflection on that. But the fact that it didn't start until February, I'd say means that we're going to have a compensation period of hotness in the summer. So you want to be looking out for avoiding booking holidays in places where there could be forest fires, where it could be too hot, which is further from the sea, for example, because obviously when you're near the sea, then you get a breeze which ameliorates the atmosphere if it gets too hot. Whereas you don't want to be booking holidays in inland destinations. Like I went to Tours one summer, which was rather too hot, and really had a time where we could barely leave. It was just not worth even leaving sometimes, the chalets that we were in. So I think you need to avoid that. I think it's going to be just simply a hot summer, and it's going to be, there will be a repetition of those tornadoes from last year, probably worse this year than last year. That's what I think is going to be coming this summer, and we'll find out whether I have an unbroken record of getting the weather right ahead of time and making, you know, predictions about things that are going to happen. So I can be taken by surprise, though. I don't really seriously claim a prophetic gift. I just think I tend to get things right more often than most other people. But it's intuition, and usually there's a reason for it. I was expecting the recession to end in the second half of the year, and to be getting back to normal again. There were things that I could feel happening in the market, but you know, after this Cyprus deal, you know, the wind's been taken out of my sails, and once again I'm wondering whether that's really whether this is really what I thought would happen. But then when I think to myself that January going against the grain of what I thought would happen didn't stop the ultimate happening that I thought was really going to happen this winter. I think also that the Cyprus will be the same, but in reverse. That the fact that we've now had a mini downturn in Europe over Cyprus, and that by rights that should probably put the kibosh on the recovery, because after all what they did was just so stupid to do that to Cyprus when it's in the Eurozone, to ruin the confidence of investors. I think simply that still, you know, where else are you going to stick your money? I mean, it basically means that it's a wake-up call for those people that think that any of these offshore places are really safe. And maybe that just brings more money back into the regular economy. I don't know. Maybe that will be the effect, and that Cyprus won't actually be the downfall of the recovery after all. That's what I'm hoping now. We'll find out whether this is correct prediction in the second half of the year. Hot summer, but recovery of the economy. Probably a lot of people still getting a little bit irate, because people do get their blood up a little bit when things are warm, when the weather's warm. So I'm not saying that it wouldn't be a little bit more civil disobedience in countries that haven't had it yet, and worse civil disobedience in countries that have had it, and a little bit of a bit more aggro from the side of the government, or the various governments, and the erosion of civil liberties. I expect all of that to continue apace. Anyway, those are general predictions for the second half of the year from my source, and I'll put this up and you can see whether I'm reliable or not, you know. But like I say, I don't claim really a gift of prophecy. I just notice that I get things right more frequently than people tend to around me that I listen to speaking. So I'm still optimistic about the economy, actually. Strangely enough, I think that things are going to come round again shortly.